ISTV, and also I'm joined by David here from Sheffield's Forge, and we have just begun women's canoe polo, and we just want to quickly go through their lineups. For Lancaster, the captain, number 8, Juliet Lobley, number 7, Kat Hunderberg, and I believe, as I look down to do that, a goal was scored. Did you see who did that?
I didn't see who scored it, but I can tell you that it was a goal to Lancaster, so they're starting the exact same way the men's team started, very strong early out, and York will look a bit rattled, really.
And what do you think the difference, before we continue with the rosters, what do you think the difference is going to be in this match for York to try their best to come out on top?
I think they're going to need to show more attacking threat than the men's team did. They only had 1 or 2 shots the entire game, and obviously you're not going to win or draw a match when you're 7 goals down if you don't have any shots. So I think getting some more attempts on target is going to be the most important thing for York here.
Most definitely. So once again, right back to the rosters real quick. Number 7, Kat Hunderberg. Number 9, Caterina Righetto. Number 2, Sofia Skiming. Number 5, Jess Heredge. Number 10, Beth Lee. For York, number 5, Claire Medina just happened to find the goal and the back of the net for themselves. So now they decided to make a comeback there and show a little bit of dominance. Now the score 1-1. I think that's definitely a difference from what we saw with the men. The women are fighting back hard and had a good counterattack.
Yeah, it's York's first goal of the day, and that's going to give them confidence going into the rest of this match now.
And back to now York's roster. Number 5, as I said, just scored a goal, Claire Medina. Number 3, Emmeline Batchelor. Number 4, Gabsy Holly. Number 7, Abby Enston, who we had a great interview with before the men's canoe polo game. Number 6, Katie Balmer. And number 1, Alaska Simpson. I think Alaska Simpson did join the men's team, and we saw that Alaska was able to really show a quite dominant force, and we'll see how she can now transition into the women's game and see if she can bring that same force into this game. That way they can have a dominant offense.
Yeah, as we see here, Lancaster dominating possession again like they did in the men's game, but York, they're bringing the counter-attack here, which the men's team didn't do, and if they can get that speed to go right down the other end, they can put the ball in the net again here.
And what I see just right off the bat, it seems that right on this end, what I noticed, it's kind of that bee's nest formation almost. They were all gathered in this one area, which is a bit different than Lancaster men, who tried to really spread out the field and use that spread to their advantage so that they could find some space and then find the open net.
Yeah, we saw York's had an attempt on goal there from Batchelor. It was quite a poor effort though, didn't even reach the underside of the bar. So York need to do better than that if they're going to want to take the lead here in this game.
The score once again 1-1 right now with 7:16 left to go in this first period. Lancaster seems to be trying to organize their offense, putting it back to Juliet Lobley to try to make that organization happen. She's fighting to get past York's Alaska Simpson in the backfield, but doesn't seem to be able to do that. And could you tell me, we had this call once again. David, what's that call again?
Sorry?
The call, this gesture right here.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
Oh, it's the same one. Holding, thank you. Oh, we didn't. I don't know if we saw that last time. I think we saw it maybe one time in the previous game. Yes. We have our great York analyst right here in front of us. Thank goodness for her help as we're going through this matchup. Oh, I've been informed she's a player, so we have pitch side knowledge right at our fingertips as we're analyzing this game. Lancaster's finding that offense that they so desperately need right now with 6:24 left to go in this first period. But York finds possession. Abby Enston finds possession, passes it off to York's Claire Medina. Claire Medina's going down the pitch, and it seems Claire Medina now passes off to Alaska Simpson, and she finds the back of the net, making it York 2, Lancaster 1 with 6:05 left to go. That was quite the fast counterattack there, David.
Yeah, York doing it very well to get up the pitch and putting the ball in the back of that net. Lancaster didn't have the time to get back and form a proper defence, and if York keep doing that, you can see them take the lead in this game. Lancaster, though, you can see them here talking to each other. They're going to be coming back stronger, seeing if they can get that equalising goal. They're going to want to stay in this game now at 2-1 with only 5 minutes to go. This is the key point in this first period.
Definitely, and we go back to Lancaster's now offensive attack, trying to find the back of the net. We're in the backfield right now with Juliet Lobley. Timeout here. Oh, thank you. I believe this is one of York's TV's finest, attempting to get the ball for us right now, and he seems to find it. And we're going to get back going right now. Claire Medina for York in the backfield, going to organize that offense for him. Going forward, down the pitch. I can't help but notice, it was just pointed out, David, I'm not sure if the cameras are going to pick it up, but if you look right through this window, there's a man just in the sauna getting a nice little steam right now there, and it is, I find it quite comical. He's just, we've got some chaos going on out here, and it looks quite serene and peaceful in there.
Quite a good view of the game, though. He can sit there in his sauna and watch the game at the same time. I'm quite jealous.
I am too. It seems like that'd be quite the day, but you know what? It seems like a sauna in here right now. I think we've got just the heat, so we're doing well, and this game is definitely heating up right now. York 2, Lancaster 1 with 4:40 left to go. And Lancaster switches the field from Juliet Lobley to Jess Heredge. Alaska Simpson now taking the ball down the pitch on the left-hand side, trucking her way to the goal, and she finds the bottom right corner of the net for another goal. York 3, Lancaster 1, and it seems like, I must say, Abby Enston's prediction is quite true at the moment. York's women's team is definitely bringing the heat right now over Lancaster's team, and they are finding the back of the net now 3 times. And Lancaster needs to find that quick counterattack, in my opinion. That way they can try their best to score a goal, because York is definitely capitalizing on that. And also, I think Lancaster needs to find a little bit more ball control.
Yeah, they did a great pass over the top of the defence, but the player just couldn't quite control it, and York were able to counter instantly, and they got that goal. So Lancaster, they're a bit of a more slower-paced team, so if they're going to want to score the goals here, they need to be methodical and accurate with their passing, as York goes straight up for another attack now.
In the backfield now, York's number 3, Emmeline Batchelor, with the ball, passes it off to Abby Enston, but Abby seems to lose control slightly, and she's going to fight for it back. And Beth Lee of Lancaster pushes Abby Enston over, but Alaska Simpson's going to come speeding by to regain possession and try to reorganize York's offense as we head right back down the pitch.
Appears to have lost their paddle there. She's trying to paddle away back with it with her hands. I feel quite sorry for her, really. That's quite unfortunate. It was good to see as well a teammate helping her up after she'd capsized as well, because she seems to be in a little bit of trouble there. You can see her hands flailing around as well.
Like we said earlier, it's got to be just a little scary when you lose that control and you kind of don't know which way's up anymore when you're underwater, trying to re-up yourself, if you will.
She's on the ball now, though. She seems to have attained it back, but it's Lancaster that picked up possession. If they can get the counter-attack here, certainly seem to score a goal, and they're going to take a shot here, but it's well blocked by number 1 from York, that is Alaska Simpson.
Juliet Lobley there with that shot, but as David said, Alaska Simpson blocking it. Alaska Simpson now throwing it forward, but it seems like we're going to have another holding call, if I now recognize that signal. Oh, okay. I'm being told someone got binned, and it just got a little bit complicated. Alaska Simpson now organizing the offense for York's Canoe Polo team, throwing it right up into the mixer. They're all fighting for it seems like. We've got a whole team effort, but Lancaster comes out on top.
Down here, they're going to need to be careful on their defence. They've got a player sitting out in the sin bin. They should have made the most of that opportunity now, as Lancaster just lose possession at the goal.
We seem to have come to a stopping point for just a moment. We'll try to figure out exactly what's going on. Our pitch analyst in front of us from York also doesn't know what's happening, but we're back into play with Lancaster's offense moving forward. Lancaster's Jess Heredge passing back to Juliet Lobley. But Alaska Simpson once again blocked with a paddle. Alaska Simpson definitely seems to be that dominant force right now on the pitch. And she has quite the strong defensive skills and also is able to distribute the ball quite well. And York's number 5, Claire Medina, finding the back of the net for them. And it seems the score now 4-1 in favor of York. And, you know, it's really great to see, David. I'm looking around, and we're just seeing a good crowd of people excited to watch some canoe polo. I even see some Lancastrians cheering for York as they score, which is a bit shocking, I must say. Oh, that would be the reason, would it now?
Yeah, it's good for a sport that's probably considered to be one of the more niche sports. Probably got a crowd of 150 people here. It's going to give it some great exposure, and possibly some people will look at taking it up next year. But it was a great goal from York, just using their momentum to just power the ball into the net there. Great finish.
With 34 seconds left, Lancaster now takes the offensive attack. We're right now in the middle of the field with Beth Lee. Beth Lee trying to pass it off. Now it's going to Lancaster's Jess Heredge. Tries to take a shot, but doesn't quite get it. Regains possession, and it looks like it's going to go back to Lancaster.
Lancaster should have done better there. They were in a great position just in front of the goal. All they needed to do was just lob it in, and she couldn't quite do it. So really need to be doing better there if they want to get back into this game.
We have about 9 seconds left. They're trying to reorganize. Lancaster's Jess Heredge with the ball, but it looks like they're not going to find it in time. And that's going to be the end of the first period. Once again, that's York 4, Lancaster 1. David, what do you think Lancaster is going to need to do in this second period to try to come ahead?
They're going to need to take inspiration from the fantastic performance of their men's team earlier. They're going to need to start strong early on. And I think if they can get the first goal in the next period, then the pressure will be on York, and it should be 2 goals in it. And 10 minutes can be a long time, so I think the game is certainly not over for them yet.
I would agree. Lancaster was able to score in the men's game 4 goals easily in that second period, so I'm sure that Lancaster has the potential here to come ahead, but right now York definitely has this game locked down if they can continue at the pace they're going. Once again, that's York 4, Lancaster 1. We'll be right back from right here at Lancaster Sports Center. This is Alex Haspis and David.
David Marriott.
David
Marriott.
Marriott. David Marriott. Oh, you know, that's a hotel brand. Wow, David Marriott. No, is there any connection there?
No, there's no connection.
No, okay. Once again, that's been Alex Haspis and David Marriott for LA1 TV and YSTV along with Sheffield's Forge. We'll go live. Alex Haspis and David Marriott. We're with LA1 TV, YSTV, and Sheffield's Forge. We're going to begin the second period here of women's canoe polo, worth 4 points on the Roses weekend. I believe right now, David, the score for Roses in total is 194-92, unless something has changed in the past 20 minutes. Lancaster clearly has the upper hand, and as we have commonly saying around here, Roses are indeed red this weekend. So we're going back to canoe polo right now. York 4, Lancaster 1. David, what do you think in this second period? As you said, Lancaster's going to need to step up a little bit, have a fast counterattack, and show a little bit more strong offense. Other than that, anything else Lancaster's going to need to do?
I think they're going to need to have some good passing, accurate passing, because that's something that they've struggled with in the first half, and good communication as well, because it's a very loud arena here. As you can see, that was a great shot from them. They need to be doing more of that, communicating, accurate passing, and accurate shooting.
With 9:27 left to go, York's going to take possession and try to find that offense that they have been doing so well with. And in the backfield, York's Claire Medina is going to pass off to the right-hand side. I cannot see, unfortunately, what's going on in that corner. Oh, it's Lancaster corner. Thank you very much. So Lancaster has possession, excuse me. Lancaster's Kat Hunderberg tries to distribute that ball, but doesn't do all that well. It's going to go out, but Lancaster does regain possession by number 5, Jess Heredge. She tries to distribute that ball. It goes now to Kat Hunderberg. Kat Hunderberg passes off to Juliet Lobley. She makes a quick attempt at a goal, but doesn't seem to find the back of the net as Claire Medina blocks that ball with her paddle. Lancaster once again is going to have possession of the ball. It's going to be again a corner.
Get a good corner routine here. They could probably sneak in a goal, as we can see here, the unmarked player. If they can just lob that goal, because the paddle only goes up so far, then they could definitely get back into this game. That's a great pass there, but just not a good enough finish. It needs to complement that.
I would say, David, it seems that Lancaster just needs a bit more speed. If they can have more speed and more accuracy on the pass, I think they're going to find the back of the net a lot more often, just like we saw from Alaska Simpson with the back of the net there. That now brings the score 5-1 in favor of York with 8 minutes left to go. York just has that fast counterattack. They have fast, accurate passing, and Lancaster does not seem to have that.
Yeah, Lancaster, they couldn't quite shake them off the ball there, and I think that 5th goal now with 7 and a bit minutes to go, I think that's quite possibly game, set, and match for York now.
I would agree. I'm watching Matt Carter right now at the end of the pool, who looks like he's trying to find some sort of organization for Lancaster's women's team, but it's getting more and more difficult as the hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper for the women. Alaska Simpson charges right in towards Kat Hunderberg. Kat, although, is able to get off to Juliet Lobley. Lobley passes now to Righetto. Righetto back to Lobley. Lobley's going to go back now to Hunderberg, but we're going to take time, and we're going to give a card out. A green card, just a simple warning right now. It looks like that green card's going to go to Juliet Lobley.
Lancaster's just faffing around with the ball a little bit there. They need to be, like I said, more clear-cut in their possession, because they're doing passes as they're off balance, and that's not going to help you, because then it's not going to go to the correct man, and you're not going to be able to get more points on the board.
And I think as time continues to tick away, they're becoming a bit more frazzled, trying to move a bit quicker, and it's just not working for them, because before they were frazzled, they weren't showing that possession. They weren't showing that perfect ball security, as we like to say in the United States. And it just isn't working out for them. So now as time continues to tick down, they're getting a bit more nervous, a bit more quick with it, and it's just getting a bit messier as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Lancaster, you can see here now, just the shot there was just not good enough. It was only about half the height of the goal here, which is 2 meters up from the ground. As a canoe polo player, you need to know that you need to be shooting it higher than that.
And I must say, I mean, it's easy for us to say that from here. I don't know if it's much harder, but to me, in my opinion, it's not good enough. Lancaster needs to focus up. They need to get that ball, accurately to each other and try to focus in that regard when they're passing to each other, because, it seems like every other pass, it's getting intercepted, if you will, from either Alaska Simpson or another York player, as we just saw. Alaska Simpson passes off to Claire Medina, and Medina's able to find the back of the net. And that's probably the nail in the coffin there, bringing it 6-1 in favor of York with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. But, we've seen many Cinderella stories, so this very well could be that. Lancaster could find some momentum and bring that 5-goal difference back down and find the back of the net, but they need to start doing it quick, David.
Yeah, absolutely. York on that counter-attack there did some brilliant obstructing of their players, good tactics there to ensure that Lancaster couldn't get the ball off York, as they would obstruct them getting their way with their canoe. So yeah, very good play there from York.
Lancaster now once again tries to keep possession, but doesn't seem to keep control of that, as York's Abby Enston is able to break it up. And it looks like Gabsy Holly is able to find the back of the net once again with a fast counterattack. And David, it seems like this is just getting a bit out of hand now. York 7, Lancaster 1 with 5:33 left to go. David, do you see any hope for Lancaster at this point?
I'm afraid I don't. 6 goals in 5 minutes is a big ask. It's the reverse of the previous game now, with an extra goal to the other side. And it was just far too easy for York. Completely unmarked, could just swim in at a luxury pace and just throw the ball into the net. Poor defending from Lancaster.
Lancaster now trying to find their offense, trying to organize just a little bit. Kat Hunderberg goes to Juliet Lobley. Lobley's going forward. Passes now to Kat Righetto. Kat Righetto passes to Jess Heredge, and Jess Heredge is able to find the back of the net. There could be some hope with 4:56 left to go in this period. The score, York 7, Lancaster 2, but they're going to need to find a fast pace. And York is going to now have possession, and we're going to see, are they going to respond, or are we going to have another Lancaster possession? Let's see now.
I'll probably expect York to just keep hold of the ball now. They don't need to do too much, don't need to exert themselves. They just need to professionally see out this game. But if Lancaster had played like they just did then, earlier in this game, it would have been a lot closer than it is now at 7-2 with 4.5 minutes to go.
Alaska Simpson with the shot, doesn't seem to find the net. It goes high and right. Lancaster now will not gain possession. It's going to go to York's Gabsy Holly. Gabsy Holly's probably going to distribute this ball back. Let's see what she decides to do. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left to go in this period. Gabsy passes off to number 1, Alaska Simpson. Alaska Simpson passes it off to Abby Enston, but Abby Enston isn't able to find the back of the net, as Lancaster was able to block it with the paddle. Now Lancaster with that fast offensive attack. Kat Righetto passes off with an attempt to Juliet Lobley, but wasn't able to complete it. It was floating around for a little bit, but Kat Hunderberg was able to get it, and it looks like Juliet Lobley was able to find the back of the net. Score now, York 7, Lancaster 3 with 3:36 left to go. It seems like they're getting settled in. It seems like they're getting settled in a bit late, but there could be a change of pace here. There's only a 4-goal difference. It is possible. Alaska Simpson with a shot. It's high, and we've seen a difference here, David. York's now a bit frazzled, and Lancaster has settled in.
Yeah, absolutely. Lancaster have got their momentum together now, but I think it's going to be a big ask for them now. They've got 3 minutes left to score 4 goals, but I definitely think they're going to give York a run for their money in these final few minutes, and York have just switched off until now.
And Alaska Simpson was able to just intercept that ball and finds the back of the net quite easily, bringing the score 8-3. As much as I want to see Lancaster try to fight back, I don't think time's on their side. A 5-goal difference with 2:50 left to go. The score, York 8, Lancaster 3.
Yeah, it's been a little bit closer in this second period. I think the overall score for period 2 is probably quite close, around 4-3 to York. So Lancaster can definitely take pride in their performance in this second period and going into it again next year, knowing that they're capable of having a lot closer game.
York quickly goes off that foul. It looks like Gabsy Holly is going to score yet again, bringing that score 9-3 in favor of York with 2:20 left to go in this period. And it seems like I'm watching Lancaster. The gas is starting to run out. They're getting a bit beat down. They're realizing maybe it's just not possible, but I hope they're going to play to the end and play hard to the end.
Yeah, York's Holly's played very well on the counter-attack there, just winning the ball back from the Lancaster defenders and just having an easy shot with absolutely no one there marking her and no one protecting the goal.
Jess Heredge is going to pass off to Sofia Skiming for this attack. It's going to go into the far right corner. Lancaster York are going to try to contest each other, but Lancaster comes out on top. Kat Hunderberg gains possession, passing off to Jess Heredge. Jess Heredge then finds the back of the net. The score is going to be 9-4 in favor of York with 1:35 left to go. Well, they're trying to stop the clock. Now it's 1:31. The timeout was called at 1:34. A little funny business there, David, with the clock. Hopefully that...
I like the fact they got the .8 there, just to be sure.
It's precise around here. We try to do it well at Lancaster.
Yeah, you think if York hadn't scored those last couple of goals and Lancaster had maintained a better defence, it could be about 6-4 right now. It could be a very close final couple of minutes.
It really could, but unfortunately they were able to find the back of the net. And those were just easy goals, David. Something Lancaster should have been able to defend against, but I think their defense has a little bit of disorganization, and they could have figured it out a little better, but unfortunately they just weren't. Now we have a Lancaster offensive attack with about 68 seconds left to go. It goes off to Sofia Skiming, Sofia Skiming off to Kat Righetto. Righetto trying to fight, but loses possession. It's going to go off to York. 55 seconds left to go. It seems like this match has been decided. If something changes, it would have to change quite quickly. Alaska Simpson with another attempt at goal, but it goes just a bit high, and it's going to go to Lancaster for possession.
It's a vicious cycle for Lancaster because they're trying to attack, but in trying to attack to get more goals, they're leaving themselves vulnerable at the back to concede more, and that just creates a vicious cycle because then they need to score more goals to catch up again.
And Lancaster's number 8, Juliet Lobley, is going to try to score once again, but Claire Medina of York showed some fierce defense, and we're going to have a timeout now. 24.2 seconds left to go. York's 9, Lancaster 4. It seems like the story's been decided, but we have quite an excited crowd, a crowd gathered at the windows as well. Our little friend in the sauna has decided to step away. I guess he thinks the game's been decided. He's finished his session, and we're off once again. 24.2 seconds left to go. Oh, I see. It seems like a penalty. What would you call this? A penalty kick? A penalty throw? A penalty throw. A penalty throw, and Juliet Lobley, the captain for Lancaster, finds the back of the net.
It's very hard to miss with absolutely no one guarding it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was kind of anticlimactic. 15.5 seconds left to go. The score now, York 9, Lancaster 5. This is kind of exciting, David. Everyone is staring right now at Juliet Lobley. She's just kind of alone back in the back end of the field. And we're going to have another one. How many of these does Lobley get? Oh, well, we're going to have one more. But she misses that one. That was
easy to miss, and I've cursed it. And she's missed it.
Oh, my goodness. Once again, we miss it. 15.5 seconds left to go.
Counted, it's 9-4 again now.
Okay, 9-4. So the score is 9-4, as David just pointed out. 13 seconds left to go. It seems like the story is done. We've got 10, 9, 8. Once more try by Alaska Simpson, but she doesn't find the back of the net. Going wide. 2 seconds, and that is game right here from the Lancaster Sports Center. That score, final, York 9, Lancaster 4. What a game we just saw, David. What do you think brought York to the top?
I think York definitely had the most quality over the 20 minutes, but I think Lancaster can also take a lot of pride in their performance. Secondly, especially in that second period, they really gave York a run for their money, and next year it could be a lot closer game after they've had another year's worth of training. So Lancaster can be very proud of themselves, but on the day, York were the better side.
I would agree, and it does look like that. Even though there's a 5-point difference, Lancaster looks to be very happy. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just a game, and these people look like they had a lot of fun. Coach Matt Carter there seems to be congratulating his players, congratulating York's players, and once again, I'm happy to see all the players are shaking hands and talking with each other, congratulating each other on a really great game.